Welcome back to Breakfast. It's just gone 7:20. The capital has been subjected to a number of traffic disruptions by protesters over the past fortnight. Most recently, here are some pictures. Protesters blocked Transmission Gully, which led to 11 people being arrested by police and charges being laid for trespass and criminal nuisance. Joining us from our Wellington studio to explain what the protesters aim to achieve, we're joined by Restore Passenger Rail Campaign spokesperson, Rosemary Morena, thanks for being with us. The phrase making friends and influencing people comes to mind. Are you doing that with this kind of action?
Well, it's really interesting, Melissa. First of all, thanks for having me. There was a poll on RNZ last night. Who supports the protesters? Who doesn't? And it was something like 84 to 85% of people supported the protesters. So there was a surprise.
Yeah. What are you hoping to achieve with these protests?
So we're saying, Melissa, that we're out of time. We've been waiting for the Prime Minister's nuclear-free moment. We all know that things are pretty dire when it comes to climate change. We need transformational change. We need the government to get brave. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing it. Our emissions are still rising. So we're feeling like maybe it's time for us grandmothers to take over.
Rosemary, I think a lot of people will agree with you, and you mentioned the grandmothers taking over. I read that you're kind of an age from 21 to 81.
So we're on the road yesterday, peacefully sitting. We're a great-grandmother. She had 6 great-grandchildren. Quite a lot of grandparents, a husband and wife who are grandparents. That we had a grandfather there, the 81-year-old, and we counted up our grandchildren between us. I wasn't on the road myself, but there were 30 grandchildren represented in that line yesterday.
It has to be said, though, that you're annoying people. Is this something that you are going to continue doing?
We hate that part of it. We hate annoying people, but we want those people maybe just, and this is not to make their anxiety small in any way, but let's just think for a moment about those people in Nelson who've lost their homes, for example, about the floods in Gisborne, the floods in Westport. It's absolutely devastating, and it's coming our way. Did you know, and you probably did, that 1/3 of Pakistan has been underwater? That 33 million, that's 6 times the population of our little country down here, have lost their homes.
Rosemary, my question to you, and as I said, I think a lot of people will agree with you, but I was reading before that Te Huia, the electric train from Hamilton to Auckland and back, has in a month 5,000 to 7,000 people on board, which I thought when I read that's quite low. How do we encourage New Zealanders into public transport?
We make it affordable. We make it accessible. We put money into it. Let's give you an example here, Melissa. 1.2 billion, more than 1.2 billion was spent on that Transmission Gully roadway. 1.8 billion was spent, taxpayer money, on the Waikato Expressway. For $1.5 billion, we could electrify almost all the tracks of the North Island, and we could buy the trains.
Rosemary, I'm sorry to interrupt. That may be, but how do we actually get New Zealanders who love their cars into a train?
How do we do that? Yeah, well, it's the chicken and the egg, isn't it? So if we build more expressways, we're encouraging faster cars, we're encouraging more cars, we're discouraging public transport. And that is exactly what's happened with Transition Gully, with the expressway. I didn't see any little older cars on that road yesterday morning. If we build decent trains and tracks, we will encourage the right thing.
I know that the public submissions into the future of our public railways and passenger trains, the submissions close tomorrow. What are you hoping will come out of that?
Yes, I've submitted to that. I hope to speak at that. But it's just a narrow, they've just got a narrow thing, and it's only the North Island. I actually live in Dunedin, so we need rail down south. We need it throughout the country. We need to join our people together in an accessible and affordable way.
Rosemary Penwarden, thank you for your time. Just quickly, can Wellingtonians expect more trouble today?
I believe they may expect a bit of trouble from the groundswell tractors, and I hope the people who support groundswell read the IPCC reports, the International Panel on Climate Change reports that I read. We have got a brief and rapidly closing window to secure a livable future, and that was said by the chief of the 6th assessment, Working Group 2, this year.
But Restore Passenger Rail is taking a day off, I understand from that. Thank you, Rosemary Penwarden from Restore Passenger Rail. Thanks for your time this morning. Ngā mihi.
Thank you
We're
very
going to be
much.
back in